This is the showdown that'll leave you speechless. Picture this: a red-hot Brexiteer dials into a radio show, guns blazing, ready to crush the debate like a bulldozer. But bam! He slams into James O'Brien, the master of cool, calculated takedowns. No yelling, no drama, just razor-sharp questions that slice through the nonsense. Every wild accusation about corruption, lies, and betrayal gets hit with the ultimate gut punch: where's your proof? And as the caller stumbles, you feel his whole worldview cracking like thin ice. This isn't just talk radio, it's a brutal lesson in how flimsy arguments shatter under real scrutiny. Raw passion versus ice-cold facts, it's electric. Before we jump in, drop a comment on where you're tuning in from, smash that like button, and subscribe so you never miss the next epic clash. The real tragedy here isn't Brexit itself. Nah, it's the 1-2 punch of a global pandemic right after we left, followed by a brutal war shaking everything up. You can't pin all our woes on that, though. It's not like, oh, but it is. That's the key point you're dodging. Alright, spill it. Where are you pulling your facts from? Me? I'm citing heavy hitters like the IMF and the Bank of England. Those same folks who predicted doom and gloom, saying we'd crash into recession and be the only ones left broke? But guess what? We bucked the trend. Right before the pandemic hit, in that tiny window after leaving, our economy was booming harder than anyone else's. Okay, buddy, sure. But seriously, where's your source on that 4% GDP drop having zero ties to Brexit? Did you catch the Bank of England governor on LBC yesterday? Pardon? Yeah, LBC, I tune in, hear what everyone's saying. Well, you sure didn't hear me claim that. They're linking that 4% slump to stuff like Liz Truss's mess. Nah, that's exactly it. Their analysis pulls from her chaotic stint. It's over 3 full years, man. She was PM for, what, a blink. Like 10 minutes last year. So in those 3 years, what hammered us? Pandemic. War. Boom, there's your culprits. I get it, but nobody with a brain thinks Brexit's innocent. Every other country faced the same pandemic and war, yet we're lagging behind. Only Remainers spout that crap. Wrong, Andy. Think hard, we're tanking worse than nations that dealt with the exact same crises. Before or after what? Before or after what? You tell me, you're the one throwing questions. The pandemics and wars hit everyone we're compared to, and we're still dead last. That screams something unique to us, right? The immediate mess from Truss. I never backed her as leader. Don't dodge. We're staring at 3 years of economic wreckage. Not her fault alone. 2 of those years, the whole world was reeling from COVID. But right before, we were killing it. Why keep repeating that fairy tale? Source it. Same places you do, media, everywhere. But you're not, because that's not opinion, that's hard numbers. No one's coughing up figures to prove we were golden in 2018. We were firing on all cylinders. Fine, let's play pretend. Say the UK economy was a superstar from 2016 to 2018. But we hadn't even left the EU yet. We officially dipped out 3 years ago, but the real split dragged on. And don't forget the EU's corruption exploding during negotiations, lie after lie, stonewalling facts. Best example, Andy? Back when we joined the common market, we got suckered into slapping 16% extra on everything we buy. Total ripoff. What lies were they feeding us in 2016, 2017? They clammed up, wouldn't cough up answers. You screamed corruption and lies, give me one solid case. I'm sticking around for this. Corruption galore, they hid info we demanded. Like what? Any damn thing we asked. Finances, all of it, they refused during the Leave campaign. Who fed you that? We were insiders, we had full access. They was us. News reports said it. What docs, off the top? Certain key documents. Which ones? Can't recall exactly. Do you have one shred, one tiny scintilla of fact backing any of this? One lie, one corrupt act? Maybe not them directly, but since then. No, we're talking pre-Brexit. Vaccine stuff. What vaccine lie? They claimed it killed people, trying to trash us later. Who? The EU? Yeah, the unelected overlords. Don't tell me they never lied. I will if you can't name one. Try again. Off the top long drive, caught off guard. We called you? Ambushed? Poor guy, fresh from the road, thrust on air. Apologies. But go on. Take the vaccine debacle. You said 2015 lies. They stonewalled answers. That's not lying, that's your claim. It shifted to corruption, they withheld figures. What figures? Everything we requested. When? Campaign time. What specifics? Finances, takings, all hidden. We had access as members. News said otherwise. What documents? Can't pinpoint. One scintilla? Vaccine, they said it killed folks. EU said that? To discredit us? Let's circle back. Now, zoom in, Collar storms in like a warrior, blasting EU as a corrupt beast. But poke it, and poof, house of cards. Sure, EU's a giant bureaucracy, flawed like any. No one calls it perfect. But evil empire? That's rage in disguise, not facts. Every rule, treaty out in the open. Transparent as glass. So why the deceived vibe? UK polls twisted EU stuff for home games, blaming Brussels for their screw-ups. Voters swallowed the spin, mistaking theater for truth. They lied feels good, but crumbles under light. No real deceit, just leaders dodging blame. O'Brien demands one example, crickets echo. They lied about everything. Go on, what? EU ops, all shady. Vaccine, we supplied, they lied. Post-Brexit, dude. Doesn't matter if lies.